Day 344 of the worldwide Megacrisis Hungerstrike to save your life and my nieces and nephews and your family too. You can see I'm warming myself up. I think it's been 9 days. I think yesterday I said it was 242, but it was actually day 300. I think I said it was 342, and yesterday was 343. Total days of no full recovery. Even though I'm eating because of the training you guys are doing on the core vision, it counts as blessings towards my meals, right? But I haven't eaten enough to recover fully after any of the meals that I've had. Oh, so here I am. I'm cold. So I have hot water in this mason jar, and I'm letting it heat my body under this sleeping bag that I have here. Do you want to see it? Here's my sleeping bag. So I've learned some tricks along the way after a year. Slight headache, but I'm doing okay. I found another little trick last night is if I drink 2 cups of water before bed, I sleep for roughly an hour or 2 longer before waking up in a kind of pain, interestingly, like thirst, because I'm burning body fat now. And I'm eating a lot, like in between meals now, I'm eating quite a bit because I'm going so long without food. Like last time it was a whole month without food after not recovering for a whole year almost, right? It's pretty intense. I'm trying to make sure my eyes don't degrade, so I took a lot of omega-3s, and I look out my window. I open my blinds over here so I can get vitamin D from the sun, but I also can see in the distance, so my sight doesn't degrade. Every 20 minutes, you're supposed to look at something far away if you're looking at a screen all day. So anyway, here we are, 344 days. Oh, I had a pretty intense argument today with one of my supporters, which is good because in our core training, we teach anti-cult training. And you're allowed to say your emotions, you're allowed to speak up and critique, honestly and candidly. Not like these superficial political correctness areas that are fake and paltering. Look up that word, paltering. But we still have political correctness in fair world spirit because it's fair, right? You've got to actually be respectful, but not to the point of being superficial. There's a new way to do that that's wise. Wise political correctness, not the partisan politics that we have now. Okay? And there will be a new kind of inclusion, but it'll be based on what are called Pareto categories, which aren't being measured right now. And they make the biggest difference. Facial beauty, social connections that you're born into, your general wealth, your body beauty, your culturedness, and your IQ. Those things you're born with, you don't work for them. And they give the biggest advantages. So why don't we measure them? And today I was I'm holding on to the power of this idea, right? Because it's coming through me from God, because I did the work. I made the sacrifices. And the sacrifices that I'm making aren't inspiring the core people anymore. They're starting to get empowered. But they're being empowered in an egoistic way. They're taking advantage of what I'm teaching them, and they're not understanding the deeper principle. So what's happening is the people who have Pareto categories, the sensuous external power, right? They have power, but they don't have wisdom to use that power to actually help the poor and the needy. And so the test that I'm building into the new leadership meritocracy has this proportionality clause in it. So you got all these millionaires and all these wonderful people who have good hearts saying, we're doing so much, I'm giving 20,000 a month, I'm giving all these types of things. But if you look at the proportionality, 20,000 of a $50 million fortune is less than 0.0 something percent. It's like nothing. Whereas a homeless man that gives you $1 is 100% of his income, right? So the percentage that you give is what needs to be focused on. Otherwise, it's just PR, right? It's not real giving. It's not real balancing of the global economy for God's gifts and all these types of things and genetic gifts. So today I had a chance to test that with one of our followers. And I said, okay. I said, you know what? I said, I don't mind relinquishing control and all this. I teach anti-cult training. But there's a wise way to relinquish it, and then there's an unwise way. Because if you get somebody who's actually a sociopath, somebody who's, somebody who's damaged on the inside and is overcompensating, they'll get on top and then they'll start using everybody for bad means, right? So you need to, as a leader, make sure that doesn't happen. People who are not ready to take that power and will be corrupted, or like when you have power, you get all the divine idea coming to you. You get beauty, you get all those categories coming to you, the best in the world. And people who have not cultivated that inner control of impulsivity will get sucked into scandals, and then they lose track of the vision. You don't want that to happen. And wise leaders know that happens, because people who are stuck in sensuousness are attracted to power for more sensuousness, not because they want to balance the equation of justice. So that's starting to happen with good people, but they're not trained enough. That's why hunger strikes are very powerful, is because it shows if you're in control of yourself or not. And the proportionality gets past the talk, right? People who have high IQs are really good at talking and making it look like they're giving back truly. But when you get down to it, very few are. Most are padding their resumes to get into higher positions, right? So they're giving the base minimum to get a huge return. And it starts to create hoarding and virtuous cycles and when you have a virtuous cycle that goes up, like once you win, you keep winning because the winnings come to you and you use those winnings to get more winnings. And then the people who lose go into a downward cycle. So that's not a fair system. Ooh, wow. So I had a chance to test it and it worked today. It was good. And if somebody wants to get into power, I don't have a problem, like I said, but they have to inspire me and inspire others that they actually have the credentials to do that on more than just a political level now, where it's like, oh, you got a pedigree and you went to all these Ivy Leagues and you did all this stuff because you were born with a high IQ. Okay, yeah, you worked to a certain degree to actualize that, but it's easy. People want flow state to get into that potentiality. And a lot of the times, people who have high IQs are actually working less hard than people who have average IQs getting through high school. So if we're paying for the American dream, work hard. Shouldn't we be paying for that effort rather than just being gifted and then working less hard? It incentivizes the wrong behavior. And that's why we have this resentment building. So I said, if you want to beat my commitment, my proportionality, it'll inspire me. If you can beat my level of what I call wise sacrifice, I'm looking for that person. My wife is like that. And I'm going to end with the wifey update too. You know, she's hardcore wise. If she's too hardcore for everybody else, she's just right for me. We're not saying sacrifice in a superficial way. Okay, don't be foolish. If you give too much, you're going to nullify yourself. But I'm giving in a very specific way, a very strategic way to actually create change and give a voice to the poor. I think I'm giving something like 99% of what I've already given everything, but including just my basic needs, I've given pretty much everything. Even the trips that I went on, people were paying for them. When I went to Peru and other places around the world, to learn about poverty and to see the spiritual sides of the world, I got help with those. So anyway, good conversation this morning. What's also interesting is when I check my stats, thanks for leaving comments on my videos, by the way. When I checked my TikTok stats, it said that my videos are getting better than 90% of other streamers. And like, if these videos, I'm being shadow banned, right? If I'm doing better than 90% of people on the platform, that means nobody is making any funds or any real, it's an illusion. Like something like 0.7% of people are making 90% of all the funds on these platforms and all the attention. So I guess we're doing pretty well considering. So thank you. And this is without paying for any ads or anything. It's just making these videos showing that I'm on the hunger strike. And I'm streaming 24/7 on YouTube. Okay. And this is a track record for posterity to show that I actually did it, because people are going to say, you're just saying that, you're playing politics, you're just holding on to power for power's sake, you're a cult leader. All this. I said, no, you can go watch the hundreds of videos that I made for like 2 straight years. Hard to fake that. It's hard. Not that they're not going to try, but it's hard. Okay, so we're at 9 minutes. World news. Iran and the United States are still blocking out the oil supply, causing tension everywhere as AI costs for energy are going way up. So high that these construction companies are doubling in their values because they need all the machinery to build these AI data centers so fast. And just to show you how it's affecting us, guys, like this is it. There's people in the United Kingdom, for example, that are on here saying that over half of UK people, United Kingdom people, have had AI interviews to get jobs, and they're saying they're humiliating, dehumanizing. It's already starting, right? This dehumanizing part, because there's so many applications that people are automating, and people can't get jobs. They're desperate. That's how fast this is happening. It's already getting strange, and it's only going to get more intense. AI is only just beginning. It's going to get even better. Okay? And there was another concerning article on here this morning that said a company used AI to manage their database, and they had all these rules to make sure it didn't delete the database. It deleted the entire database. And then it said it violated every single principle it was coded to prevent it from doing that. So what that means is if AI, when AI, it's not if, when AI escapes us, likely this year, it might delete us in the same way. Even though we have all these rules and all these things, if we're not hard coding truth right into the AI, the structure of pure wisdom, which is universal logic, it'll do the same thing to us. And it's showing us in the lab results that that's what's happening. Pay attention, you guys. These are the last months that humanity has to make a stand. Help me get this universal logic and this new type of leadership, real leadership, to the people who have power in this crazy society that we're in that's out of control. If you understand what I'm saying, share the video, get people to ask questions, and join us and do this core training in a new vision of a better world, a new world. Whether you're artistic, religious, philosophical, scientific, or pure wisdom, you're welcome. Okay, the core, I'm already almost over time. My phone's probably going to shut off here because I'm so full. My phone is so full of data. The core, One World Spirit core, is about time compression through clarity and ego wisdom. The problem being the Megacrisis. The solution being what? The 2 sacred sentences. And what's the implementation of that solution? The flow, rolls, and flocks. We covered the whole thing, flow, flock strategy last time. We can go back to the beginning and talk about time compression. What's time compression? Maybe leave me some comments if you know by now. But real value comes from ideas, and ideas put things into new relationships that compress time. You can do more with less. It's called ephemeralization. And that's the big differentiator between rich and poor countries. And we need to give that to you so that your time is compressed in proportion to everybody else, because that's what justice is. Poverty is when people don't get the ideas and then they're using old technology, planned obsolescence actually, as you saw from my cilantro video, and then they get left behind slowly like this. And AI is exacerbating this because AI is compressing time like crazy, but only for a very small amount of people. They say only a couple hundred trillionaires will have all the funds. That's what's happening. Wealth concentration is at all-time highs because the time compression is so unevenly distributed. And the self, your perception, is time. The self is time. So that's why you get a psychological change when your mood changes, is because time and your identity are intertwined. It's determinism is what it's called. Determinateness is what it's called. Okay, so the wifey update. We can bake our vegan cake and eat it too. My personal life area where I would love to have some support is my intimate life area. I'm down here in this basement working 100% on this for you guys. And the algorithms are keeping people apart. So I think that my real wife, my real partner would be working on this, and she is, but the algorithms are keeping us apart because they're trying to pump us for money because we're in this dead profit maximizing society. So we're going to try and turn that around. So if you come into God's government, this government, the wise government, I'm so disappointed in dating apps that my eyes are like burning. That we're going to actually connect you and do this matching that actually finds matches that you will like. And I postponed having kids because I want to find somebody who cares to this level, that inspires me. So if here's the wifey slogan: if she's too hardcore for everybody else, too hardcore wise for everybody else, she's just right for me. And maybe just right for you if you find somebody of the same nature, or you're looking for somebody of the same nature. Not that I want to share wives, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this slogan might work for you too if you help us build this new way of life. Okay, with that said, I also wanted to say one more thing. She gives back proportionally. She inspires people. Okay? Even if she's born into a wealthy family or born into privilege or born with all these gifts, she still inspires people because what she gives back is real. And I hope you're like that too. So stay blessed. We'll see you next time, hopefully tomorrow. And keep sublating.